Hey, Sean Nightfire here. So I built a emergency backup system. I don't want to build a whole off-grid system just because electricity is cheap here, but I still wanted to have something. However, I did get a few cheap solar panels and a small charge controller, and I'm making about 5 or 6 kilowatt hours a day on sunny days. So I wanted to use something to get rid of that power, use up that power. Now, I do have my inverter hooked up to my whole house through this 6-3 cable, and I could run the house for an hour or two, but that's not ideal. You got to shut everything off, turn it on. So what I did is I decided to run my inverter, my water heater. So I got this, interlock kit. It's a cheaper version of what you see. This one's much cheaper than the $350 ones. Water heater is kind of perfect thing for me to power. First of all, I use a lot of power, and it's close, so I don't have to run the wires very far. Also, it kind of acts as like another battery. So end of the night, when your water heater's not on, it still has some hot water for a day or so. But yeah, this is what I bought. Pretty simple. Normally the Romex, 10-2 Romex goes into the water heater. And then each of the inputs now have a 10 gauge with a ground. Same with the output. I just use 10 gauge THHN wire, and then I use a 1/2-inch flex conduit from the inverter and to the new one to the water heater. Pretty simple setup. This is all pre-wired. These are both 32 amps, which is okay for 10 gauge. And then let me know my mic is working too. I replaced this one, the output breaker, just because it was 63 amp, which is definitely not ideal for 10 gauge. So this is a 30 amp and it's GFCI. So there's actually a 4th ground going from the ground bar to this GFCI. So now you'll see when I power from grid, it's on, works good. And then shut that off. I shut it off from the source always, just because it's safer. And I got normally there's a cover on this. Watch when I turn on from the inverter, it automatically shuts that one off. And then I can turn on the inverter. My batteries are pretty low, so I don't know if this is going to work. Powering up, light goes on, good to go. So yeah, that works good. Good way to power up an extra load. And I'll just kind of show you, pan over this way. So yeah, I ran the wire extra long just because if I ever get a second inverter. Also, I've just run a couple loads off the side here. So even when I'm not got the interlock kit, it's still, I can use power from it. Questions, comments, snide remarks, leave them down below. They all help, and thanks for watching.